Do you think President Trump is stable?
No. And
Because
I
Senator Bob
never thought that he
Corker,
was stable.
remember Corker came out a little while ago and questioned the president's stability. We've seen President Trump attacking Corker on Twitter today, claiming that Corker lacks the guts for re-election. And Corker just responded on Twitter and said the White House has become an adult daycare center. And clearly, I believe he's suggesting someone didn't show up for their shift to babysit the president today. Do you think this is only worsening on a daily basis, this idea that there are some Republicans like Corker who believe the president is not stable, and we see this war of words on a daily basis? It just confirms that's the case?
Well, I think what you're seeing is people willing to say what people have known for a long time. Look, Brian, anyone who's paying any attention to Donald Trump over the last 2 years should not be actually surprised by any of this. I mean, he's an erratic narcissist, a serial liar, somebody who went through a campaign, mocking women and the disabled, thin-skinned, vindictive, all of those things that we saw during the campaign that for whatever reason the conservative movement decided to embrace, enable, or rationalize. Now we're seeing it playing out in the White House. And, guys like Bob Corker, I think, have reached the point where it's like, can we, not pretend that the emperor is not naked? Can we not pretend that the emperor is not unstable in a way that we should have understood very, very clearly more than a year or 2 years ago?
Why are there then so many conservative media heavyweights willing to defend Trump at all costs, not willing to admit the stability problem?
Well, I think this goes back to the nature of the conservative media. And again, one of the surprises to me was the willingness of many people in the conservative media to roll over, to abandon long-held conservative principles and to embrace Donald Trump. Whether they did it because they were playing some sort of eight-dimensional chess like Rush Limbaugh, or whether they were doing it like Fox News because they had been bludgeoned into it. Look, frankly, at this point, Brian, this is the business model of the conservative media, that they understand that conservatives are still behind Donald Trump. And a lot of people on the right just simply, they look at conservative media as I mentioned this before, as their safe space. They don't want to hear things that rattle their confidence in this administration. And I think that it's very, very difficult. Like, I'm a former conservative talk show host, and I try to imagine what it would be like to be doing the show now with an audience that, frankly, does not want to hear it. So I do think, there are true believers out there. There are the orange Kool-Aid drinkers out there. But there are some people who I think have just cynically made the decision that if they want the clicks, if they want the rating, if they want to be able to stay within that conservative tribe, there's only one route, and that is to be a Trump rationalizer and defender.